back, everyone. My name is Patrick. You're watching the Oilers Rundown. Well, we've had a few days to process everything now, and the media availabilities continue today for the Edmonton Oilers, with General Manager Stan Bowman and Head Coach Chris Knobloch meeting the media today. The biggest topic coming up was, of course, Connor McDavid. The Oilers Star Center is eligible to sign an extension as of July 1st, and all the talk is, will he sign one on July 1st? Will there be a wait? And right now, it looks like there will be a wait. The Oilers are going to do everything on Connor McDavid's timetable right now. Nothing will be rushed. I think it'll be done earlier than we saw last year with Leon Draisaitl, who didn't get anything done until August, but that was more a result of the Oilers not having Stan Bowman in place, Jeff Jackson temporarily running things. So negotiations were way behind there. Negotiations will be given top priority. We know Connor McDavid wants to see what kind of changes this team makes, what kind of plans they have for the future, because he wants to keep winning year in and year out. He's the best player in the NHL. He's deserving of that opportunity, and the Edmonton Oilers, obviously, to keep him happy, to keep their team competitive, have to do everything within their power. The plan for that will be changes at forward and in goal for the Edmonton Oilers, according to GM Stan Bowman. He expects to see the defense pretty much come back the same next year, and that obviously makes a lot of sense with most of the Oilers defensemen already under contract for next season. Guys like John Klingberg are up. It's probably going to be pretty close to 95% the same defense for the Edmonton Oilers next year, but obviously, they need some changes up front, and one of Stuart Skinner or Calvin Pickard at least will not be back next year. John Gibson with the Anaheim Ducks is getting a lot of traction around Oil Country. He was the big talk at the trade deadline as well, but I don't know. John Gibson makes me very nervous. He's consistently hurt in and out of the lineup. He's had a great year last year, but that was probably an outlier, so I don't know. A lot of people want John Gibson. I'm not totally against it, but he comes with a big price tag of $6.4 million for the next 2 seasons, I believe it is, and Anaheim is willing to retain on that to bring it down probably at least by 50%, but even still, it is a risk for the Edmonton Oilers, but maybe a tandem of John Gibson and Stuart Skinner is a way to go, although we know going back to the trade deadline that John Gibson did not want to be in a tandem with Stuart Skinner, so we'll have to see what happens there, guys. There's going to be other options for the Edmonton Oilers, and we'll look at those options here over the coming weeks as we get closer to July 1st, and we'll see if the Oilers opt to make a trade for a goaltender or try and sign somebody on July 1st, but the free agent crop isn't great for goaltenders. Guys like Jake Allen, Alex Lyon are probably near the top there, and they would probably be decent tandem goalies for the Oilers, but I don't think there's any goalies there that's going to put them really over the top, which is why there is talk about John Gibson at this point. Another possibility for change is behind the bench for the Edmonton Oilers. Head coach Chris Knobloch is expected to be back, but the Oilers' assistant coaches, including Glenn Gulletson, Paul Coffey, and Mark Stewart, all have their contracts expiring at the end of June. So there will be possible openings for the Oilers there, depending on which contracts they decide to renew. And I think with how the penalty kill struggled, with how the power play struggled, it's definitely a good possibility that we will see some changes behind the bench for the Edmonton Oilers going into next season. Maybe even possibly a new goaltending coach. I know a lot of people, myself included, have wanted to see Dustin Schwartz replaced and brought in with somebody new, and this summer we may finally see that change. There was another report from insider David Pagnotta. He reported the Oilers are working to extend Corey Perry and Connor Brown. David also notes that Connor Brown played through the Stanley Cup Finals with a fractured toe. As I mentioned in my last video, Corey Perry is definitely someone I want to see back with the Oilers next year on a new 1-year contract. Connor Brown, I'm kind of less enthused about. He's kind of up and down for the Oilers, but at the same time, I'm not totally against bringing him back, and maybe he's one of those guys who gets maybe a 2-year deal at a lesser term, so it might be another 1-year deal, might be a 2-year deal for Connor Brown. We'll have to see what happens there. We know he's another guy that's really close with Connor McDavid, so it does make sense to bring Connor Brown back in that regard. So I think that's all I have for you guys for now, but there'll be plenty more to come here. As we know, we got free agency, the draft coming up here in the coming days. So that's all the latest for now, guys. Let me know your thoughts on possible changes behind the bench for the Edmonton Oilers. Which goaltenders would you look at to bring in as a possible replacement for Stuart Skinner or Calvin Pickard? Corey Perry, Connor Brown, do you want them back? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan.